Hello, my miracles. It is that time again. Another coffee and crime. Grab your coffee. We're going to talk some crime. We're going to jump right into it. On June 6th, 1996 at 2:30 in the morning, a call came in to the Rowlett, Texas dispatcher. The home on 5801 Eagle Drive had been broken into and the intruder had stabbed 3 people. David Waddell, the first responder to the scene, witnessed a man running out of the house. He stopped the man and it was revealed to be Darlie's husband, Darren. Darren stated that he lived at the house and was going across the street to find the nurse who lived nearby. David made his way into the house to find Darlie still on the phone with the 911 operator. He stated that he saw on the living room floor 2 boys. One boy, he said, was obviously dead, and the other one was moving, crawling, bleeding, and gurgling for breath. Darren returned and David told him to help his sons. Darren went over to one of the boys and began performing CPR. David Waddell stated that as Darren was breathing into the boy, blood was spurting out of the boy's body, telling David, of course, that this boy was dead. When asked about what Darlie was doing, how she was acting, David Waddell stated that Darlie really didn't seem concerned about her boys. She seemed more concerned about her jewelry that was on the kitchen bar. She asked them, "Did they steal my jewelry?" Oh my gosh. Darlie then said that she messed up the butcher knife that killed her kids, rubbing the fingerprints away, which is very odd, don't you think? Backup had arrived and cleared the house. Paramedics went to work on the boys, which unfortunately, both of the boys died. Darlie had superficial wounds, it was stated, on her neck and her arm, and she was treated very quickly and released from the hospital 2 days later. Surprisingly, 8 days later, Darlie and a few family members were at Devin and Damon's grave sites. They were celebrating Devin's 7th birthday. And the video is very suspicious. 4 days after the filming of the birthday grave sites, Darlie was charged with capital murder. The prosecution, Greg Davis, suggested that Darlie killed her 2 sons due to financial difficulties, stating that she was very materialistic and that the couple had plummeting credit card debt. The prosecution said that Darlie was afraid that her lavish lifestyle would end. On February 4th, 1997, Darlie was convicted of murdering Damon and sentenced to death by lethal injection. Yet, she was not convicted of the murder of her 6-year-old son, Devin, which I found very, very odd. She was taken to the Mountain View Correctional Facility in Gatesville, Texas, to await her execution. So Darren, Darlie's husband, filed for divorce on June of 2011. He stated that it was mutual and that he still believes in Darlie's innocence. This crime is absolutely astonishing. I can't even imagine. So first and foremost, before I get into my thoughts about this crime, my research was done on 2 kind of platforms. One, of course, was Wikipedia, and the second one was a lot of YouTube videos. The most important one was On Death Row, Darlie Routier by Werner Herzog. I saw his name and I really like the way he directs his films, and he asks the very hard questions, so I was very intrigued with that. So here are my thoughts. It was stated that Darren, Darlie's husband, was asleep upstairs with their other child while all this was going on downstairs. My question is, was there a television upstairs on, or was there a fan on that was so loud that you couldn't hear anything? I don't know. I just find that very hard to believe that he would sleep through the murders of his other 2 children. In the trial, a piece of evidence was a screen door from the garage that was cut, leading the police to think the intruder theory may have been a possibility. Unfortunately, a knife from the home was revealed to have the same material from the screen door on it. So how could there be an intruder? Magic, I guess. I don't know. Also, the knife that was involved in the murders of the 2 boys came from the same block as the one that was found to have cut the screen door. So I'm not a criminal. I'm not a robber, but my thing is, if you're going into a house to rob it, wouldn't you bring your own weapons, because you have no idea what this person has? It just did not jive with me. It very odd. There were over 100 items tested for DNA. None of that DNA identified an unknown person. All of the DNA was either Darlie's, Devin's, or Damon's. So I find that very difficult to believe that nothing, like not even like a hair, a cut, even if you wear gloves and you have such a vicious attack on these 2 boys, something had to drop or transfer on clothing or something. It was, I instantly did not believe there was an intruder. So there were also drops of blood on Darlie's nightgown. They were on the front and back. And on the front, it was stated in the documentary that it was going in an upwards motion. One of the people interviewed, I believe it was the prosecution, said that in theory, they think that when Darlie was stabbing the boys, she raised the knife up really high and the blood transferred on the back of her nightgown, and when she put it down and into the boys, it would fly up into her nightgown, in the front of her nightgown. Do I believe that they have the right person? I definitely believe they have the right person. As hard as it is to think that a mother could kill her own children, it does happen. So that is my coffee and crime for this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, click the like button. And again, I say, if you have a crime that you would like me to research and cover, comment down below. Also, if you are not a miracle and want to be, click that subscribe button. Watch miracle happen. I am Miracle Girl. Thank you for joining me again for another Coffee and Crime episode. I will see you later. Bye.